and good evening, everybody. My name is Cruiser Chris. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, I look like I'm getting good audio, so let me begin tonight's presentation. Hello, my name is Cruiser Chris, and I would like to welcome you to the Cruiser Chris World Network's presentation of a self-written story called The Johnny Blaisdell Story. Please come along with us as I read all the parts of the story that we have from the beginning up until where we are right now. So let's begin with page 1, chapter 1, the introduction to the Johnny Blaisdell story. Before we get started, we'll say this. All of the names have been changed, and parts of this story are based on true facts, while other parts are dramatized for your entertainment. Chapter 1: The Introduction of Johnny. This is the story of a boy by the name of Johnny Blaisdell. He was born at Abbott Northwestern Hospital on May 10, 1986. As a baby, Johnny's mom noticed that Johnny was not hitting the normal milestones like sitting up at 7 to 9 months or turning over. Johnny showed no signs of being able to do any of these things. At age 5, Johnny was diagnosed with autism, depression, mild retardation, dysplasia, anxiety, and fetal alcohol syndrome. His mom and dad liked to drink too much and used illegal drugs from time to time. He has an older sister named Terry. She is 3 years older than him and was born with mild depression. He also has a younger brother named Tori, and he is 1.5 years younger than Johnny. Tori was born with very bad anxiety issues. At the age of 6, Johnny was approved for PCA hours. Johnny received 16 hours per week. 10 of those were worked by his mom, Sue. Sue went through a PCA company called Cruiser Chris Home Healthcare LLC. She wanted to have someone to come and work for Johnny for a few hours during the weekend. They sent Sue a PCA by the name of Kendra. She has long bleach blonde hair with strawberry highlights. Her eyes are the color of seafoam blue. She is about 5'9". She is about 5'9". Johnny was 7 years old when he met Kendra for the first time. On Saturday, April 15th at 11 a.m., Johnny is hiding behind his mom. Sue opens the door um, for Kendra. Kendra tried to smile, but a smell overwhelmed Kendra. Sue apologized to Kendra for the smell. About uh, Sue apologized to Kendra about the smell, about the mess in the kitchen. Sue told Kendra a number of excuses of why the house was in the shape that it was in. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while I reach for the next page. Sue pushed Johnny to show himself to Kendra. Sue and Kendra make their way to the dining room where the two of them sit down and uh, for a few minutes, Sue told Kendra she has a list of things that she has to get done today. After Sue leaves, Kendra was still feeling overwhelmed over the smell and took over the smell and looked for the house or smell and look of the house. Sorry, folks. Um, she even throws up in her mouth a little. Johnny hides under the dining room table as Kendra is still sitting at the dinner table. Kendra notices a toy box, so she pulls a few toys out and starts to play with them by herself. Johnny sees Kendra and does not like that she is playing with his toys. Johnny yells at her from under the table, and Kendra replies, Johnny. Kendra replies to Johnny in a soft voice. That he is more than welcome to come over and play with the toys together. Johnny slowly got closer to Kendra. She was playing with what looked to be a toy truck. Johnny came over and grabbed it right out of her hand. Kendra grabbed it right out of Kendra's hands and said, it turns into a robot. It's from the movie Transformers. The toy's name is Bumblebee. Kendra softly informed Johnny that it was not nice to grab things that way. Johnny asked her if she was mad at him and was going to hit him or find another way to punish him. Kendra told Johnny that she would never physically hurt him, he was in, he interrupted her and asked her what physically meant. Just then, Mom walked in and said that she was going out for a few hours. Kendra replies by saying, "Thank you for letting me know and drive safe." Mom walked out the door and Kendra noticed that Johnny's dad was not home and the two other kids were here as well. Kendra kept all of this information to herself, thinking that she will have to uh, uh, information to herself, thinking that she will have to have a talk with Mom and Dad at a later time. Kendra trying to keep one eye on uh, Kendra trying to keep one eye on uh, Kendra trying to keep one-on-one time with Johnny became a little difficult at this point, and but keeping an eye on the other two kids are other kids too. Tori was crying because he wanted something to eat. Kendra asked Johnny if it was okay for her to be to to assist Tori with finding something to eat. Johnny had very Johnny had a very puzzled look on his face. Kendra opened the refrigerator and saw bowls of half-eaten somethings, all dried up, uh, unrecognizable food in the bowls, and a number of cups, uh, some full, some half empty. Kendra was going to give Tori a bowl of cereal, but the milk was sour. She looked for a can of soup and was able to find a can of chicken and rice soup. Tori was fine with that. Kendra had to wash a bowl and heated the soup up in the microwave. Tori was happy sitting at the table eating his soup with a cup of water. Kendra had a hard time with getting the thought out of her head of that refrigerator. Kendra had a hard time of getting the thought of that refrigerator out of her head. Kendra was playing with Johnny, and they were laughing and having fun. Soon, all four of them were playing games and having fun. Kendra told the kids that she needed to use the bathroom and that she would be right back. Kendra took pictures of the refrigerator with her cell phone and the stove that had nothing working on it except one burner. The oven was full of dishes that had been there for what looked like at least 3 weeks. Um, the trash was overflowing and looked like that it has not been taken out for 4 weeks. The smell of the kitchen is very overwhelming with um aroma of with the aroma of rotten food, grease, and oil smell. The bathroom she went and the bathroom she went back to Johnny's bedroom where all of the kids were still playing. As soon as Kendra walked into the bedroom, the kids stated that they were getting hungry. Now it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Kendra did not want to cook anything on the appliances that were in the house. So she decided to use her cell phone and call up a local pizza place to see if they would deliver food to the house. The Kendra asked the kids what they wanted for pizza. The Tori and Terry said that they wanted sausage and pepperoni. Johnny just wanted a plain cheese pizza because he's a big fan of cheese pizza. And there are a lot of young kids that are just big fans of cheese pizza. I used to be one, but I kind of grew out of that as I grew up. So Kendra placed the order with the pizza with the pizza shop and also ordered a side salad with a personal pan pizza as well. Um, Johnny or Kendra also asked the kids if they knew what pineapple was. The kids were perplexed because they did not know what pineapple was. And so Kendra Googled for them what a pineapple was and showed them pictures. Kendra was a little taken aback uh, that about that. Then she showed the kids pictures of uh, what pineapples looked like. The kids said that they have never had that. Kendra ordered a one large pepperoni sausage and pineapple. She also got boneless chicken wings with some ranch dressing. Kendra also ordered Hawaiian punch for the uh, for the kids to drink. Uh, um, it was now getting to be about 2:30, and the food had not come yet. Kendra was getting worried that Mom and Dad may come home and see that Kendra ordered all this food. What would Kendra say? Then the food came at 2:38 p.m. Kendra had no oops, sorry folks. Kendra had the kids sit down and eat. The kids helped to carry the boxes. They all sat down and um they all sat down while Kendra placed food in front of each child. Not one word was spoken at the table. Kendra was the first one full, but the kids kept eating and eating. There was one chicken piece left, and Tori and Terry started yelling for it. Kendra asked Johnny if he wanted it. Johnny said yes. So Johnny said yes. So she gave it to Johnny. Kendra asked Johnny if he wanted, okay, gave it to Johnny. Kendra took all of the boxes and bring bring them out to her car. Now it was after 3 p.m. and Kendra, now it was after 3 p.m. and Kendra sat all of the kids down in the bedroom in the bedroom and she found a book to read to all of them. Tori fell asleep, so Kendra covered him up. Kendra is done working at 4 p.m. Now, Terry and Johnny, okay, Kendra is done working at 4 p.m. Kendra tries to call Mom, but she does not answer. Tries to call Mom's phone, but she does not answer. Um, and tells her, uh, Sue sees that the phone has been vibrating for a few minutes now. So she says to Tony that they need to think about getting ready to go and start making their way back home. Sue, Tony says that we can leave after one more drink. So Sue agrees to this. Sue and Tony pull up into the driveway and both start stammering uh, from the car into the house on the sidewalk, and they both told Kendra that they were very sorry for the fact that they were late, and made their Tony and Sue made their way to the couch and plopped themselves down into onto the couch. Kendra could smell alcohol on off of Tony and Sue's um, breath. They Tony and Sue reiterated to Kendra how sorry they were for the fact that they were late coming home. Kendra did not want to show how angry she was in front of the kids. She only said goodbye to the kids, especially to Johnny. Kendra drove to a park and started to call her boss, Tracy. She explained everything that happened on her shift. In a message, Tracy called Kendra back at 6:45. At that time, Kendra was home working on the report. Tracy asked her if she could write up a report and print it off along with the pictures that she took, and they would tentatively schedule a meeting for Monday morning at 8 a.m. at the Cruiser Chris Home Healthcare offices. Kendra agreed. Chapter 2: The Incident. Kendra walked nervously into the office. She told the front desk attendant that she was there for an 8 a.m. meeting with Tracy, who had just seen that it was 8 a.m. and went to meet Kendra. Tracy brought Kendra to an open conference room. She could see Kendra was very nervous. As they both sat down, Tracy told Kendra that she did the right thing and that she did nothing wrong. Kendra handed Tracy the report that she had previously prepared. She took a few minutes to read the report. In the meantime, Kendra put the pictures that she printed off uh, in front of her. The report summary read as the report summary said that the kitchen was messy, the sink was full of dirty dishes, the stove looked like it has not been cleaned for a very long time. The refrigerator had spilled food items. There was bowls of rotten food and that had mold on the top of mold on the top and cups filled with sour milk behind the refrigerator were bugs, and the kitchen floor was sticky and dirty. The dining room, sticky and dirty. The dining room table was covered in male food wrappers and dirty plates. Food, male food wrappers, dirty plates, and cups. In the bathroom, around the tub area, there was a lot of black stuff. It that appeared to be mold. The floor was dirty and wet. The sink was so full with toothpaste and the sink was so full with toothbrushes and toothpaste, and the toothpaste was thick and was um, dried onto the counter. You could not wash your hands. Um, the trash can was overflowing with trash, and the toilet was covered in dirt. The toilet itself appeared to be unusable. Johnny's bed sheets looked like as if they had not been washed in a while. Johnny's bed sheets. Okay, I think I read that. Okay. Kendra could see that Kendra could see recent stains on the bed sheets. The carpet looked like it was not it has not been vacuumed. Bear with me as I try to find my place again. The trash can was overflowing. Behind there were droppings that appeared to be from mice. Kendra felt that she was responsible for all three of the kids because both mom and dad had left the house. Tracy had very Tracy had a very concerned look on her face. While she was reading the report, Kendra felt safe, ve- venting venting all of her concerns to her. Tracy left the room to go get Katie, one of the directors um, at Cruiser Chris Home Health Care. A few minutes later, Katie and Tracy walked back into the room and can and Katie asked Kendra a very important question, which was, are you willing to continue working with Johnny? Kendra said yes. Katie told her that that was great news and left the room. Tracy told Kendra that she would call the family and try to set up a meeting to discuss the parents the, the to discuss with the parents about uh, leaving the kids alone with Kendra. Kendra um, leaving the children in. Tracy said that she would try to give the family a call and talk to the parents about leaving all three kids in Kendra's care. Tracy walked with Kendra to the lobby. Kendra walked to her car, and Tracy returned to her desk and called Sue on the phone. Hey, what's up, guys? Cruiser Chris back again. I didn't mean to put you on mute for a minute, but I also um, live where I have my studio, so I have things going on in the background from. Yes, it's my first live stream, and thank you everybody for the support. Um, I, and I'm trying to keep up with your comments as I go, so keep them coming, please. Sue answered Tracy's call, and Tracy asked if they could meet at the house someday soon before Kendra returns to work there at the house on Saturday. Sue's reply was that they could meet at the office. Tracy responded that all of the conference rooms were booked at for the week because the state was in there doing licensing checks. Sue asked if they could meet at a local um they could meet to get coffee. Tracy replied with, "You know what, Sue? I will be there on Saturday when Kendra starts her shift because by law I have to do supervisory visits with my staff to make sure once every 3 months to make sure that they are performing their tasks the way that they should. Um, so Sue asked Tracy if that would work. Sue said that should work. Tracy called Kendra and asked her when which uh, Tracy every 2 or 3 months. Sue asked if that should work. Tracy called Kendra and asked her what time was her next shift with Johnny. Was which at what? And Kendra responded that the next shift with Johnny was on Saturday at 11 a.m. Tracy then put it in her calendar, and Tracy said to Kendra that she would be there at Johnny's house at about 10:45 on Saturday. So it was 10:45 on Saturday, 10:45 a.m. Kendra asked Tracy how long she will be staying. Kendra, can't, uh, sorry folks, I'm trying to read this for you at the best of my ability. Kendra asked Tracy how long she would be staying for. She told Kendra that she told Kendra to tell her if she wants her to stay any longer and they can talk more at the house to see how things go. Sue calls Kendra Friday at 4:30 p.m., but she does not answer the phone at that point in time. Sue left a message telling her that they are canceling the staff for Saturday and are unsure about Sunday if she doesn't hear back from her by then to come Sunday and in at 11 a.m. So basically, what had been happening, folks, was the mom, Sue, was trying to delay the visit of Tracy. So they had made an appointment for Saturday at 10:45, and Sue ended up calling Kendra on Friday at 4:30 to say that she could not. Um, they didn't think that they would be able to have staff for Sunday. Uh, so the next day rolled around, and Sue wanted Kendra to come at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So Sunday morning rolled around. Sunday. So then Kendra. I don't know why I'm getting the names screwed up, but Kendra called Tracy, and just to make sure, like any good employee should do, um, just to make sure that uh, Tracy was made aware that things had changed. And so Tracy acknowledged it. And so then we continue. So if she doesn't hear back from her by then to come on Sunday at 11 a.m., Kendra calls Tracy and leaves her the same message that she got from Sue. Sunday at 10:45, Tracy is knocking on Sue's door. Sue opens the door and sees that, and Sue opens the door to Tracy. Tracy walks in and sees that the kitchen is in the same, if not worse, condition than when Kendra had left it the previous Saturday. Because because of the smell and seeing uh, it firsthand, Tracy and Sue walked into the dining room, walked to the dining room table, and sat down and had a meeting. That is still full of paper work, or that was still full of paperwork and dirty plates and cups. Tracy says to Sue, I have a few concerns about you leaving my staff member with the responsibility of other the other two kids, the other two children. Sue replies with, yes, there was some misunderstanding, some miscommunication with my husband and I and it will not happen again. Please bear with me, folks, as I try to keep my pages in order. The next part is Tracy brings up the concerns that Tracy brings up the concerns of the house condition with the safety and health concerns for the family. Sue replies with, yes, there is a family issue. There are family issues that we have. There are family issues that have lasted a few months. Sue did not want to get into the details of what the family issues were. Sue told Tracy that then by the next weekend, the house will look better. Tracy thanks Sue for her time and has her sign a summary sheet of the issues that were just discussed at the meeting today. Tracy excuses herself to go and find Kendra. Ken, Kendra. Tracy excuses herself to go and find Kendra. Johnny and Kendra and Johnny. Tracy knocks on Johnny's bedroom door, and Kendra asks, "Johnny, who could that be? And maybe we should the open the door." Johnny opens the door to see Tracy standing there with a smile on her face. Tracy could see that she interrupted their game. She asks Johnny if he is winning the game. Kendra quickly says that uh, Tracy is her boss, and Tracy gives Johnny her business card and told him that he could call her if he ever has any issues with Kendra. And they all giggled. Johnny had never been given a business card before, so he was jumping for joy because he felt important. Tracy looked at Kendra and told her to call her when her shift is over or tomorrow morning. Kendra said that she will call a little after 4 p.m. during the shift. During the shift, Kendra and Johnny clean his room together. She leaves at about 4 p.m. and says goodbye to Johnny and the family. As Kendra is driving home, she calls Tracy. Tracy answers the call and that says that she talked with Sue and discussed the issues with her. Sue and she says that she talked with Sue and discussed the issues with her and Sue's leaving the kids unattended. And says that to Sue, and she talked. Sorry, guys, I'm again trying to catch up with my reading here, so please be patient with me. Kendra is driving home. She calls Tracy. Tracy answers the call and says that she talked to Sue and discussed the issues with her. Sue's reply was that it was not going to happen again, but Tracy added that she and Kendra both knew it would. She asked Kendra to keep her informed and about the cleanliness of the house and for confirmation that Kendra does not get left with all of the kids again. Tracy ended the conversation with "Keep up the good work." So before I start reading the next part of the story, has anybody been a healthcare worker or is a healthcare worker at this? And have you ever been in a situation like this? And how did you handle it? Sue Thomas Blaisdell. Okay, this is chapter 3, and this chapter is called The Unbroken Chain. So this kind of reverts back to when Sue grew up. Sue Thomas Blaisdell grew up on the oil-rich fields of North Dakota. Sue's parents' names are Monica and Joel. Her dad was a foreman on the oil rig. His shifts consisted of 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. Sue's dad was muscular. Sue's dad was a big, muscular man. He stood 6 feet 2 inches tall. His hair was long and very dark brown. Always looked kind of messy, like he had just got out of bed. Joel's eyes were dark brown and the were dark brown. The weeks he did not work, he liked to drink. Sue's mom, Monica, was a stay-at-home mom. She was about 6'5", without heels, always kept a ponytail. When Sue was younger, the parents yelled at each other a few times a year, but with each passing year, Sue would see her parents yelling at each other more and more. Friday morning came. Friday morning, the next day, wait, let me see. Maybe I can't get her hair in a ponytail. And Sue was younger. Sue would see a few times a year. Friday morning was going to be Sue's big day. It was going to be Sue's 10th birthday. They would play games and open. Sue was going to turn 10 years old on Saturday. So all day Friday, the whole family cleaned, cooked, and put pink colored party favors. Um, Sue set up the various games that her and her friends were going to play. The family worked very hard all day, and it now the family worked very hard all day, and now it was time for dinner time. And now it was dinner time. Monica made grilled cheese and opened a few cans of tomato soup. Everyone was at the table eating when Sue's little sister said, "Where is Dad?" And Monica replied to Sue's little sister that her dad was probably working late and he would be home late tonight. But I am sure that he will not miss Sue's big day. After dinner, everyone said everyone took turns with showers and baths. It was now it's 9 p.m. and um okay, now it's 9 p.m. and all of the kids are in bed. Monica set out stuff to make breakfast in the morning, and the stuff needed to make cake for Sue. Monica was in bed reading a book when she looked over at her clock. Radio, it read 11 p.m. 11:48 p.m. Monica was getting worried about Joel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have a phone call. I'm going to mute it for a second and then we'll be right back. Stand by. And I'm back, everybody. This is Cruiser Chris World Network, and I would just like to say that I was a little nervous about doing this earlier today. I tried doing this earlier today, and I'm doing pretty well for myself. So I thank you for my patience. And that was a phone call from a family member. I got what I needed taken care of with that, and now I can get back to you. So, um, I would like to say thank you to all the new people that have come into the live stream on the Cruiser Chris World Network, and we hope that you uh, have enjoyed the story so far. So now Sue woke up extra early the next morning and headed downstairs to see Mom making her favorite breakfast. Monica made pink colored pancakes that looked like a panda bear when with maple flavored syrup. Monica was so happy that Sue's older brother reminded her to say thank you after breakfast. Mom told the kids to go get dressed and make uh, and to they made and to make sure they brushed their teeth. Monica made the cake before breakfast, and now all she had to do was decorate it. Monica was doing the breakfast dishes. She was thinking to herself about all the things that she still needed to get done. Just then, it drawn dawned on her that she had still not heard from Joel. Monica called the local hospital, but was not there. Monica called the local hospital, but he was not there. Sue came running down just uh, then. I mean, okay, bear with me, folks, as I try to relocate where I am. Um, Monica made cake before the decorating and breakfast dishes. She was thinking, and it dawned on her that she had still not heard from Joel. Monica called the hospital and local hospital, but he was not there. Sue came running down Sue came running to her mother and asked if Daddy was going to miss her birthday party. Monica lied because she didn't want to see the look of embarrassment that she knew would happen if she told Sue that her dad may miss the party. Um, so Sue made up, so Monica made up a story that her dad must have gotten hung up at work, late talking with the bosses and coworkers. She tried calling Joel's work. Nobody would answer the phone. The coworkers were busy trying to get the midday weekend things that needed to get done worked on, and so they didn't have time to answer the phone. So she could only leave them a message. Monica called her sister right before breakfast and asked her if she could come over as soon as possible to to help her set up the party. The doorbell rang at 11 a.m. and it was Kelly standing at the door. Starting Kelly started to help by making coffee and putting the punch together. Monica dis- uh, Monica was decorating the cake. Kelly told Monica she how good she was at that. Monica started venting to her sister about the situation. Monica and Kelly Monica told Kelly how she had lied to Sue and how she and Joel were fighting more and more. What uh, Kelly asked Monica what they were fighting about. Monica replied by saying money and that Joel thinks that she could do more around the house and that every 2 weeks she has a big to-do list waiting for him. As soon as he walks in the door, Kelly asks her if they thought about marriage counseling. The doorbell rang. Monica's family and Joel's family all started showing up for the party. Because it was such a wonderfully warm day, everyone made their way to the backyard. This is chapter 4, and it is titled The Birthday Party Surprise. Some of the family members bring dishes to share. All three of the cousins were now in the backyard playing. They were lining up to go into the castle inflatable bouncy house, which thankfully all the kids could fit in at one time. Monica and oh boy, inflatable castle bouncy house, which thankfully all of the kids could play in at the same time. Joel's mother, Mildred, walked up to Monica and asked where Joel was at. Monica replied by saying, I have been trying to get a hold of him myself. But as you can see, I have not been I have been preoccupied with our daughter's birthday party. Mildred then took her phone out and tried to call her son. Just then, just at that moment, Joel opened the sliding glass door, but he had forgotten to open the screen door too, and walked right through it. It got pulled off of its tracks right through it. It got pulled off of its tracks, and now Joel could not get his foot out of it. Joel fell to the ground, and at that point could not and at that point started yelling and cussing every swear word there was in the English language. Everybody's everybody's head turned Joel's direction. Monica ran over to Joel to try to help him. As she was face to face with Joel, he hit her in the face. Monica went flying backwards and started to cry. As for the rest of the family and friends, they are all and frozen in shock, and the kids all stopped playing and were very quiet, just looking through the window and the doorway. Thank you for everybody who's come into the live stream. It's really been a joy for me to bring you this live stream this evening, and I hope all of you have enjoyed it. If you like what you've seen, please consider connecting with the Cruiser Chris World Network. And at the end of the reading, I will tell you a little bit more about what we do at the Cruiser Chris World Network. So we continue. Joel, on the ground, his foot through the screen door, was still still uh, Joel on the ground, his foot through the screen door, still finally worked up enough strength to stand up and yell in a deep, mean voice, "What the fudge are all of you looking at?" All of the female adults rushed over to Monica to help her up and assist her to the kitchen sink to wash her face and hands. In the meantime, all of the males walked up to Joel to assist him out of the screen door. Sue runs out of the bouncy house over to her father and kicks him in the shin, screaming at him about making her mom cry. Joel could not make. Joel raises his hand again, but luckily Uncle Frank was there to stop Joel, so Joel could not make contact. Uncle Clint then came up beside Frank and Joel and lifted Sue up off the ground, and Sue went kicking and screaming as she was being carried by Clint into the living room. After sitting in the living room for a few minutes, Sue runs into the kitchen to check on the status of her mom's condition. I'm just reading here to just catch up. Uncle Clint picked her up and brought her into the house. Sue kicked and screamed and cried, but Clint did not say a word about what she did. Soon she did what she did. Soon Clint put Sue down and she ran to her mom. Sue then asked her mom why Dad hit her. Monica, not knowing what to tell Sue about what had what she had just seen, says to her, "Let's focus on opening your presents and then having cake after. We will all sing happy birthday and have cake." Sue was happy with that. Monica's sister Kelly got everybody together around the kitchen table as Sue opened her gifts. Grandma and Grandpa got Sue a makeup mirror, some makeup, and a $50 cash cash for her college fund. Aunt Kelly and Clint got Sue a new bike. It was pink with teal colored streamers and a bell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now take a pause at the end of. We're going to take a pause right here where I am, and I'm going to stop the live for now. I know it's kind of a long story, but I will continue the next live I do and bring you up to date with the story all the way up to the point where we are still producing it. It's been a great pleasure for me to do this live stream with you this evening. And as always, we appreciate that you are willing to take the time to come and be a part of the Cruiser Chris World Network family. If you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing so that it shows us that you really enjoyed what you saw, and we would hope that you will come and see us next time we do a live. So for right now, with many thanks to all of you, I'm going to say this has been another presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network. We are very happy that all of you chose to join us this evening. We hope that you have enjoyed the reading of the Johnny Blaisdell story, and we look forward to bringing the rest of what we have produced at some point in the future. Thank you, and as always, stay safe, happy, and healthy out there, and we will see you either in the next live stream or in the next video. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. We love you, and have a good night. Bye-bye.